Hello, my magical friends. I am a few minutes late. I apologize. I had to get a little sparkle, and Facebook just told me I was live. It's on the ball. Gotta love Facebook. Okay, let me turn off all those notifications. Hold on 1 second. That should be nicer. How's it get even better? Okay. It is TLC, Tuesday Live Chat, here on Facebook. How is the new year being and going for you, my magical friends? Okay. And for those of you who do not know who I am, I'm Dr. Andy. I play in Dr. Andy's world, which includes I am a certified animal chiropractor. I love playing with consciousness. I love asking questions. I love looking at things very, 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 very differently. And so if you're here, maybe you like that too. So welcome to Dr. Andy's world. Hello, Miss Amber and Miss Keisha. Thank you for coming. Mwah. Okay. What is up in your worlds? Anything you want to pop up there in the comments? Start us off this new year. Otherwise, there's Miss Sarah. I did get your text yesterday. Sorry I did not get back to you. So yes, we will figure out bars or dinner or both or something. Mwah. Hello, Louise. Welcome from Oklahoma. All right, anything up in your worlds that you want to start with? Otherwise, I always have something, right? Always have something. Okay. So I've been seeing on Facebook, right? And I don't know if you guys do this. I don't know if I do it either, but I was looking at this. A word for the year. Like, what's your word for the year? Watch the black tail go across the screen. There we go. What's your word? Right? For 2021. And I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily come up with a word, but I have been looking at resonance a lot. And what is resonant with me? And what does resonance even mean? And yes, we keep in mind that definition by definition alone is a limitation. Yet, what does it mean? What does it be like? What does it feel like to be in resonant with something? Is that something similar to it being light for you? Are you personally, like only you, resonant with something? Like, is that something like when we talk about Amber's inviting herself to our bars and dinner? How does it get even better than that? Absolutely. If you're resonant, is that what's light for you? And are you the only person that's resonant? Or, and I don't know. That just kind of popped as something to say. I was like, because I've been playing with, I've mentioned it. I've been playing with Healy. Healy is biophysics, is quantum physics, has a sensor in there, and it functions on frequencies. It functions on resonance. And if you are not vibrating at the correct resonance, if you add in the correct vibration, you add in the correct resonance, whatever correct is, take it or leave it, you then start vibrating at that frequency. Yeah, Keisha's like, I've been really looking at what am I resonant with. Yes, that's what I'm looking at. Like, what am I resonant with? Ooh, that was a great question. Because what just popped for me is we're resonant with a lot of frequencies, lots of energies that maybe do not actually contribute. But we know that resonance. We know that frequency inside and out. Right? Like, we know that resonance. Like, if you grow up in a household where your parents are depressed, how much do you resonate with that frequency of depression? That you vibrate that way. And then you find other people that vibrate at that same frequency. And how much does that perpetuate the depression, or the people that are depressed that keep showing up or being, or you're choosing in your life? So we've talked about similar stuff, right? We're just throwing in this new word of resonance. The frequency of drama. Yeah. But you vibrate at this frequency of massive drama, you're going to find people that are also vibrating at that level, right? And then you have more of it in your life. So what does it take to change your resonance? What does it take to change your frequency? I don't know. Those are just some questions. You know, if that's what you're resonant with and you want to change it, what does it take to change it? I'm going to add, resonance might be my word this year. Because it brings in, at least for me, like another level to this light and heavy, and what works for me and what doesn't work for me. And then, okay, if this doesn't work for me anymore, but that's what I'm resonant with, how do I change my resonance? How do I change my frequencies? What do I need to choose and be? Right? Universe, show me. Okay, we know our questions here. So playing with Healy, playing with resonance, playing with frequencies, I came across a Dr. Carolyn McMakin. Keisha's like, I love that we have a new way to play with it. I'm like, yeah. As y'all know, or maybe you don't know if you're new, but y'all that join me quite a bit or catch these in reruns, Keisha and I get together Tuesday morning. And usually first order of business is, what are you going to talk about on live? Like, and sometimes it's like, boom, there it is, we're done, and we move on to what else we're looking at. Website stuff, this stuff, that stuff, whatever. Okay, cool. This morning was so different. I'll just call it different. Because we went on this wild conversational ride of what's going on out in the world, and how do we see it, and what do we know about it, and what we pick as what works for us, what is resonant. And then what was really, really fun about it was we started out, you want to talk about resonance? Yeah, I want to talk about resonance. We went, it was like over an hour, and we get right back to, I guess we're talking about resonance. And it wasn't like we got right back to the same spot. We like transversed universes and went on this wild reality ride. End up right back. We're going to talk about something new called, and it's not new, but what if we slide in this new word of resonance in how we're looking at things? So it was a really fun meeting. Like, we actually have meetings. We show up and go, hey, what's up? Kind of like what we do here. Hey, what's up? And Amber, if you can expand on that, that would be awesome. She writes, ew, this is icky. Probably because I'm a broken record of what else is possible. So if you can, and if you choose to, if not, cool. You know, and what is your awareness now that you wrote that or looked at it or brought it out into the world? Because it's what else Keisha and I do is, once you start talking about something, then I think you get a better understanding, better acknowledgement of what you know. You get a better understanding, better acknowledgement of what is required. What is the next step? Because when it stays in here in your head, and the only thing you are talking with and to is your mind, you don't get the whole story. You don't get the whole awareness. Actually, talking, even if it's out loud to yourself, will change things for you. talking out loud with somebody else, and sometimes I'll go, oh, we need to do X, Y, Z, and as soon as I say it, I'm like, nope, we don't. We just need to do X. And it's so fast and so much fun, but it's not being ruminated on. It's not being concentrated on. It's not being, every point being pulled apart in your head. You get to interact with another energy that gives you a whole other world of information. And I remember fellow conscious certified facilitator, Brendan Watt, was talking about this. He's like, you have to say it out loud. Even if you are going to facilitate yourself on something, like ask yourself questions, you need to answer out loud. Even better if you record it and re-listen to it. You have to get it out of your head. You have to get it out of your mind. That's when it becomes, what popped into mind was real. Until, if it's hanging out in here, right? Let's go back to the word real. It's interesting that word popped. Like if it stays in here, this is one reality. If it comes out, and it bumps up to other energies and other points of view, that's a different reality, right? You get to change realities by getting it out of your mind. Okay. Okay. She just essentially, Amber's like, I just had a new awareness. Yay! Although those new awarenesses are not always comfortable. But anyway, Carolyn McMakin. And I actually found her through Healy, through their parent company called Time Waver, and they have a YouTube channel on all this frequency stuff. And well, she was the only person that spoke English. Everything else was subtitled German, and well, as much as I am sure there's really good information in there, I don't have time to sit down and read subtitles. I like to listen. So she spoke English. So hey, she was the winner chicken dinner. Turns out she's actually a doctor of chiropractic. And she did this, it was like an hour and a half long YouTube on her experience and her development of SFM. So no, SFM. I'm a little stuck. Specific, what the heck does she call it? Frequency specific microcurrent. There we go. FSM. I get quite dyslexic with those letters. F, frequency. S, specific. M, microcurrent. There we go. And she developed this. And I'm like, okay, who's this chick? Because, well, I'm always partial to chiropractors, right? Love them. And she was talking different language, same energy. And she was talking about believe what you see, not what you think is supposed to happen. Because what she had created with these frequencies and over years of trying different frequencies and treating patients in her clinics was she was changing stuff that conventional medicine was telling everybody was incurable. That conventional medicine was telling everybody you need all these pills and maybe you can live a mildly productive life. And she was talking about believe what you see, right? Your point of view creates your reality. Follow the energy. What is actually happening, not what everyone thinks should happen. And so I enjoyed that YouTube video, and then I found her book. And her book is called The Resonance Effect. Of course, that's backwards. And it's a pretty big book. And it's not all about frequencies. There's a lot about frequencies, so it's not that nerdy of a book, but it was her story. And it was a really easy read, and I just enjoy her energy. But she went to chiropractic school at 42 with two smaller children, like 7 and 10. And she uses different words, but she followed the energy. She was having lunch with a friend, and they were moving to Portland because her husband wanted to go to chiropractic school. And her friend's like, why aren't you going? You've always wanted to be a doctor. You've spent 16 years being a pharmaceutical rep. Why aren't you going? She's like, well, how would I do that? And the friend's like, don't worry about the how. Choose it. It'll show up. She used different language, but following that energy. And she did it. Finished chiropractic school. And in clinic, her clinician had a list of frequencies in his drawer that he got from a doctor up in Canada. And he handed her, you read the book, but you get the gist of it. Handed her a list of frequencies, and she's like, what do we do with this? And he goes, I'm not quite sure. But it spoke to her. What if this list was looking for her? And it was a list of frequencies, like inflammation is 40 hertz. And there was different protocols. And you used these microcurrent machines. So she started punching in these frequencies and changing things for people. Changing people's pain levels, changing people's lives. And she slowly developed this frequency-specific microcurrent, this FSM, with these machines. Because back in the 20s, the medical associations told all the doctors that were developing these frequencies and using these machines that they had to stop because they threatened them with lawsuits and losing their license. But somehow this list got to Canada, got to this clinician, and got to Carolyn. And it spoke to Carolyn, and Carolyn followed the energy. She's got courses, she's got machines, she worked with Healy. She's awesome. She's like, don't come to me. I don't know all there is to know about quantum physics. I don't know all there is to know about biophysics. That's what this stuff is. She's like, I know frequencies, and I know these frequencies change stuff. Don't believe what you see. Believe what you see, not what you expect to see. What is, Amber, what is possible? And that resonance, when you have an interruption in your frequency, you're not going to vibrate, right? And you throw in that other frequency, remove that interference, and that frequency then vibrates at the proper frequency for that tissue. We're talking about bodies at the moment. We can talk about a bunch of other things, right? Why not? But in the body, tissues, inflammation is 40 hertz. You add 40 hertz into an inflamed tissue, inflammation goes down. And it does it predictably every time. The frequencies do not lie. And that's the gist of this book. And she would do it again, and it would work again. And she would try this on it, and she would do the same protocol on this person, and it wouldn't work. The frequencies were doing what they were doing. The tissue required a different frequency. Soon as she found the quote-unquote correct frequency for that tissue, it would reduce pain, increase range of motion, all that jazz that would go along with whatever the client was complaining about. So I do want to read this one part about resonance, which might help a little bit. It helped me a lot because explaining resonance is getting easier for me and easier for me the more I play with it, the more I do with it. What are you resonant with? What are you vibrating with? So I'm going to read it, but in this paragraph, it talks about when there are two tuned violins in the same room and you bow the G string on one of them, the G string on the other violin will begin to vibrate on the other side of the room. Can you hear the madness? Oh my goodness. Oh well. The vibrations from the first string travel through the air. Somebody must be delivering a package. All right. The vibrations from the first string travel through the air and resonate with only the other G string. It's funny that she used G. No other string will vibrate except the one that is tuned to match G. That's resonance. That's what I was saying. If you have inflammation and you add 40 hertz, you reduce inflammation. If you have a muscle spasm and you introduce 40 hertz for inflammation, nothing changes. But isn't that cool? You can string one string on a violin and the violin in that across the room that one string will vibrate. That is resonance. Yes, Sarah's like, I think Molly felt the string or the vibration of Riggs. Yes, because he started it and she had to involve. And you can tell Clark knows my dogs pretty well. She got that all correct. So it must have been pretty loud. I apologize. If there is a weight or a finger on that G string, it won't vibrate in response to the other G string, right? If that interference is there. The obstruction stops the vibration that should happen when matching the G string is bowed. That's interference. Keisha's like, I could geek out on this all day long. Oh yeah, I think I read this in like 2 days flat. It was amazing to me. And I knew a little bit of it already. And I've already been playing in this world of frequency, so it was really cool to even have more information about it. But you can also look at key fobs for your car. They're all tuned. One fob for one car, right? And if you're either A, too far away, or there's a building in between, that fob is not going to talk to that car. You need to get around the building or get closer, remove that interference, and then that fob will open that car. But that key fob doesn't open the 20 other cars parked next to your car. That they are resonant to each other. So what are you resonant with? What's light for you? Right? Let's play with this word a little bit more. Now, that question that I talked about in the beginning, like, okay, I'm resonant with this. Let's go back to, you grew up with depressed parents, you're resonant with that frequency of depression. How do you then change it? And I'm going to work on that. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to keep asking that. And we might circle back around and have another. And we won't come back to this spot. We're going to circle somewhere new. But we'll maybe touch on it again. And have a look at it for yourself. And is it something that we can choose to change? Just by acknowledging it? Does that remove? Oh my goodness, I have no idea what's going on up there. And me screaming at them? That's not pleasant either, so. Okay, 1 minute. Riggs, what is going on? Come on. No promises, folks. The elk might have made their way down to our yard. And that's what he might be seeing out the window. Anyway, resonant. Does acknowledging and being aware of what you're resonating with, does that remove the interference? That then allows you to shift to a different frequency? Let's play with it. Let's see what works for us. Do we introduce a biophysics, quantum physics sensor to help with those frequencies? Do we look at different softwares? Do we read a book that now you have all this awareness to look at things differently? What if information alone, disruption, yeah. What if information alone will remove some of the interference so you can vibrate at a frequency that is resonant for you? That contributes to you. Because like we were talking about, you can vibrate at a frequency that's not contributory because that's what we have been used to. What if new frequencies are now available if you remove that interruption, that disruption? When you can do that by many different ways. Using clearing statements, doing meditation, reading books, gathering information, empowering yourself to know. What if all of that removes the disruption, the interference, the thing limiting what you could be resonant with? Amber wrote a great question. She's like, how much fun have I had with the disruptions lately? How much fun have we had with the disruptions lately? It's a great question. What if just that different perspective allows for resonance with different frequencies that can contribute to you more? It's I don't want to go, when we talk about frequencies in the past, I've heard people talk about, you know, the high frequencies and the low frequencies. What if that's not what we're talking about? Right? When you use a 40 hertz frequency on inflammation, is that low or high or good or bad? It just is. So we're not talking about, oh, we're going to vibrate at a higher level or a lower level. That's judgment. That's looking at things as good or bad or right or wrong. We're just going, what frequencies would you like to resonate with? Okay, what's required to get there? And I think that is where we're at. And I have some tools, right? I have lots of tools. And how many more tools can we discover this year and beyond? And one of those big tools is this little gizmo. There's other gizmos out there. There's big machines, there's little machines, there's different softwares, there's tuning forks, there's what do you require to change your frequencies? So you are resonant with more stuff, more things, more what you would like that contributes to the life and living you are looking to create for yourselves. Well, what I thought was going to be a short TLC turned out to be a pretty long one. So thank you for sticking with me. Didn't feel like I fried y'all too much. I had a lot of aha moments. So thank you so much for being here, because your energy and we always contribute to this whenever you do show up. And if you are watching this in, I always want to, Keisha, what's the right word? Because I always want to say rerun, and she's like, it's not a rerun. I grew up watching reruns on TV. I know. The younger crowd doesn't know what a rerun is. Ooh, yes. Keisha's like becoming more resonant with me. Oh, what? Oh, what if the me? Oh, yeah. Okay. On demand. Thank you. If you're watching this on demand at a later time, if you have any new comments, contributions, you are contributing to this. Even if it's not live, you're contributing to the change in the world. So thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this. Long live reruns. I know, Louise. I might just call it reruns just for the fun of it. But Keisha wrote, becoming more resonant with me. And we talk about being me changing the world, right? What if that is a resonance? That if we remove all the interruptions of who we think we should be, we get to be more of just us, just me, just I, you know, however you want to put that in a sentence. We'll have to talk more about that, Miss Clark, Keisha Clark. I've got two Clarks. It's so funny to me. Miss Keisha, to talk about more of that. Love it. Okay. I do want to touch on the fact that Dr. Andy's World's Positive Podcast is on hiatus, taking a snooze in its cocoon, not on the air at the moment. We did about 2.5 years, and we're taking a break. May come back, may not come back, may come back in a different form. Maybe we do a lot of what we were doing that here. New. We're creating. Oh wait, on demand is the same as a rerun. Well, kinda, I guess. It's available on demand. Okay, I gotta stop reading this. You guys are cracking me up. Anyway, Dr. Andy's World Positive Podcast on Inspired Choices Network is taking a break. So we're going to be doing a lot of that here. We're going to see what else is created new. We're just going to see what comes up new. Depends upon us. Okay, I gotta stop reading this. This is hysterical. Oh, catch the replay. That's more the word. That's more the word. Okay, replay. Anyway, I don't think y'all care what I'm saying at the moment, which is awesome too. So we'll be back here next Tuesday for our TLC. Podcast is on hiatus. Oh yes, the resonance. We were talking like across the room. You hit that one string and the other one will vibrate across the room. That kind of gives you a little sneak peek into how the remote sessions work. And if you're on the email, list, you'll be getting more of that, more sessions available. What if we are all connected, right? And if we can send the resonance across the room, why can't you send the resonance across the world? So maybe that'll change a little bit of how you were looking at the remote sessions, because most people are like, I think I need to be there. Maybe for some things, maybe not for other things. So there's more remote sessions. I'm doing Healy sessions with the people. There's the remote animal magic sessions. Those have been going on for quite a while, and I keep reintroducing them. They're a lot of fun. There's things that I get to look at and interact differently with the animals when they're not in front of me, with their people not in front of me, because we do get distracted with what we see. It's a very different energy, and it's still hard to put into words. And so keep an eye out on those. You'll still be getting emails. I'm still going to be here Tuesdays. We're still going to see what gets created in Dr. Andy's world and in your world and the world that we all share here, and how can we contribute to the planet and to each other every single day. And what will that change? Okay, my dear friends, I think that's it. Oh my gosh, this was so much fun. Thank you for playing. Thank you for being here. And thank you for those that will catch me on the replay. I'm so glad we worked that all out. I still might call it a rerun every once in a while, but technically not on demand. I think I got it. I think I followed it. Maybe not. Anyway, my magical, magical friends. Until we meet again, how much fun can you? Oh, hi, Nancy. Yes, Zoe and I do a lot of remote sessions. Zoe, not so keen on the touchy-touchy. But she is more than happy to connect up with me and work with me from a distance. But the whole personal space thing, not her thing. Oh, jeez. Actually, well, okay, we'll talk to Tia about getting her own, or we're also looking at doing some pack dynamics. So if I get a picture of all the animals, oh my goodness, what can change there? So cool. But Nancy writes, TMI, she just pooped. We were working on pooping. See? Some things are a little beyond chiropractic. So thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Nancy, for playing. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm out of here. And until next time, how much fun can you? And how much fun can you have with your animals? My magical friends. Love you.